morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give a speech on gun violence. Gun violence is never a simple matter to discuss. We see it take place almost on a continuous basis on our daily road to life. You hear it on the news all the time that someone was murdered by a bullet. Eventually, after tiring and prolonging investigations, the mastermind is caught. But does this compare with losing a loved one, friend, relative, family member? Does it compare with having a family go through suffering, grief, despair, and hopelessness? Of course not, and it should not be like this. Did you know that in 2010, over 31,224 people died from gun-related deaths? This study was taken 2 years ago, and since there aren't many accurate ones for this year, who knows how much higher this number has soared. Also in 2006, guns and firearms were in 68% of murders, 42% of robbery offenses, and 22% of aggravated assaults. In accordance to this, 477,040 people were victims of a crime committed by a gun or firearm. This year, the United States went through a major massacre involving the psychotic movie theater gunman. This incident was so frightening that going to the movie theaters wasn't even safe anymore. James Holmes, 24 years old, walked into a movie theater and began to shoot at everyone in the room, about to watch the new Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. 12 people were killed and nearly 71 were injured. Although this is just as heartbreaking, there was one story in particular that made me want to cut my heart out into pieces. A young couple brought their 6-year-old daughter along to watch the new Batman premiere. During the massacre, the young girl was shot and killed after being taken to the hospital. A few days later after this horrific incident, the mother of this child had a miscarriage of her second child on the way. Why should this be? All the grief and heartbreak caused the poor woman to lose her second child. Losing 2 children in 1 week, that's any mother's nightmare. Now this family has to pick up the pieces of what's left of their broken home. It is obvious Holmes had some very serious psychological problems going on before the shooting. It was confirmed he sent a letter of concern for his psychological well-being to the psychiatrist at his former university, the University of Colorado. The letter never reached there on time before the inevitable happened. But do you think if a psychological evaluation was done on this troubled individual, would he have come in such close contact with any gun or a firearm? Do you?
No.
This is just one way that guns may not fall into the hand of the wrong person. I know this may seem like overdoing it, but I honestly don't care. There has to be something to stop all this senseless violence. And if something like this is what needs to happen, then it should be done. Another form of preventing gun violence is that age limits should be raised and more background information should be requested at the purchase of a gun. Police should conduct more gun drives where guns are turned in, and gift cards and cash should be rewarded for turning in a gun. Because it seems to me that if a gun was so easy to get into the hands of James Holmes, that's like saying I myself can get a gun as well. Before I leave you on this note, I'd like to leave you with one more story. A lady I know that is like family to me, named Mavis, had a twin brother named Ishmael. Ishmael went to a friend's house after work around 11 p.m. on August 7, 2012. While he stepped outside to answer a phone call, he was fatally shot and killed after being taken to Baltimore Trauma Hospital Center. I myself attended the funeral of this young man, who was just 27 years of age, leaving behind 3 children to take care of. When they called upon the family members, as they do in Ghanaian tradition, the mother was so distraught and full of tears. Her son was gone before her, into the realms of the sky by a bullet. She turned and looked at his picture, sitting on the podium, as if she was reminiscing something about him, and continued to walk and cry on someone's shoulder. Another mother or family member shouldn't have to go through this struggle and heartbreak again. Let us use some of these alternatives to move us forward from this depressing age of gun violence. Thank you.